Hello, I'm Joseph Walker, performing artist, script writer, visionary, creative advisor. And Keith Andrew is a wonderful interviewer. He makes you feel relaxed. He makes you feel like you're friends, even though you've only met for the first time. And I look forward to having an interview with him again.
The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having learning disabilities, I can still know something. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there. Never give up and prove people wrong no matter what. Show them labels do not dictate who you are going to be. KeithAndrewNetWork. Shatter your expectations. It is my destiny. Prove people wrong in this world. Find ways, shatter your expectations. Don't let disabilities define you. Don't be limited.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Keith Andrew, and this is another episode of the talk show host with a learning disability. Today, we sit down with a great guest. He already introduced himself in the beginning of the video. So the first subject we're going to talk about is icebreakers. With that being said, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, how are you doing? My name is Joseph Walker. I'm from California. I am an entrepreneurial artist. I've done plays, I've done some short films, I've done some student films, I've been in a couple of music videos. I was in my friend's music video, if you guys want to see it on YouTube, called Ronnie D Round for Round, and I do script writing, and I'm actually a creative advisor to a singer named Beloved Jackson. She's actually related to the Jacksons, believe it or not, uh, on Michael's dad's side. Uh, I'm a creative advisor. What she'll do is like, let's say I listen to a song of hers, I come up with a script treatment for it, basically, in summary and short.
Yeah, as long as you enjoy it, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, it's not easy work, but I do it.
Well, let me ask you, do you like professional wrestling?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a huge I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to, but I've always been a big wrestling fan. I'm from I'm showing my age, but I'm from the Hulk Hogan era, Randy Macho Man era, Ultimate Warrior era. I used to watch them when I was a kid. I remember me and my cousin, we used to fight who be Ultimate Warrior or Randy Macho Man. So that was it. Showing my age, but
No, likewise. I grew up in the early 90s. The Monday Night War between WWF and WCW, we used to set up well, I didn't do it personally, but in one bedroom, we would tape Monday Night Raw. And in my
Mhm.
brother's bedroom, we would tape Nitro. So we used to go back and forth and watch
Oh
the
yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. That was
But
good.
the reason I
Yeah.
bring it up, and that's my next segue, tonight, available on Peacock, YouTube, it's WWE SmackDown. Tonight, you're going to enjoy Rhea Ripley teaming with Alexa Bliss and Io Sky taking on three other members of their match on Money in the Bank. You're going to see six women in the ring at the same time. They're also going to compete tomorrow in Money in the Bank. Who will win the briefcase to become champion? Not just champion at the time, champion of the briefcase, because when you, as you know, when you win Money in the Bank, you can cash it at any time, any place, anywhere. And some people may like it, some people don't. Recently, there was a rumor Triple H said he wants to get rid of it because he was not a big fan of it, but we will find out. But also, the men's match for Money in the Bank in the women's match. All of them will be in action tonight. John Cena teams as Paul Logan. I hate Paul Logan. He's freaking obnoxious. But he teams with John Cena to take on Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso. And tomorrow on the screen will be the two matches that I want to see out of the whole show tomorrow. It's actually two of my favorites. I mean, yes, it's John Cena's going away tour, but eventually you never go away. Ric Flair's an example. Hogan is an example, even though he sold his soul to the devil. But my two matches that I'm looking for tomorrow is the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch taking on the Intercontinental Champion. And also, I'm looking forward to the women's ladder match. Are you looking forward to Money in the Bank or SmackDown?
Yeah. Who I like of the women, I was wondering, is Jade Cargill going to participate?
I think so. I'm not
Yeah.
100%, but
Yeah, I'm a big fan of hers. She's pretty hot.
as she came a long way from AEW.
Yeah, I remember seeing clips of her wrestling on AEW, and yeah, I remember for a while she didn't wrestle. I mean, I know they added her to WWE, but for it took like a while, like 6 months or something like that, before she started wrestling, did they?
Well, let me ask you this. How do you feel? Well, honestly, I kind of relate it similar to it's not 100% like the merger of WCW and AOL because
Mhm.
AOL did not want anything to do with professional wrestling. THQ on the THQ, TKO on the other hand wants something to do with wrestling, but not in the aspect of catering to the wrestling fans. They really just want it to run as a business. So they've been firing people left and right. And you can't really, I mean, you can run it as a business, but without the fans, you don't have a business. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, no, definitely, definitely. I know from personal experience. Yeah, because one thing I learned, especially being a writer, I may think something is great to me. Something might be fantastic to me, but when I show it to my client, or let's say a producer reads it, and they'll say, "This sucks," and and it's like, and one thing I learned that taught me, just because it's great to you doesn't necessarily mean it's great to the fan,
Right.
and it's kind of a catch 22, if you will. You got to do something from your heart, but you don't, but you also got to be mindful of your audience. It's the audience that makes or breaks your product, plain and simple.
No, absolutely. And for me, I am a fan of Ron Truth. And recently he was released because TKO did not want to renew his contract. My thing
Oh,
about
wow.
Ron Truth is, and I'm going to pass it over to you, is that yes, he is funny, but doing the same copy and paste over and over, it's you can make him champion. There's absolutely no reason why he can't be a heel again and give him a title run. Now I sound like a real freaking mark because wrestlers hate when you say run or push or gimmick, but I don't give a shit. But that's the biggest thing is he was like he would do something and then he would disappear. But you couldn't make him tag champion. You have multiple belts. You could have said, regardless if he's in his 50s, if you are still able to compete and wrestle, then go out and entertain. But that's the biggest thing. Just because you fired him saying, well, we have to make business cuts. And but don't people tune in to watch him? How
Yeah,
do you feel when he was fired?
pretty shitty, of course, because like, and when you mention guys wrestling in their 50s, I couldn't help but think about Randy Macho Man.
Right.
he was still going doing dive ropes off the ropes in his 50s. And now, sure, he couldn't move like he could when he was younger, but he still had ability. So, and you said something, as long as the person has ability, then keep him.
No, I agree with you. And we can talk about anything, but let me ask you, if someone who's dangerous in the ring, it doesn't matter if they're over with the audience. If you're dangerous in the ring, should your ass be out of there?
Oh, hell yeah. No question about it. I mean, because
Bill
so
Goldberg.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Oh, Bill Goldberg's a perfect example of that.
Bill Goldberg's a perfect example of that, and Goldberg, and I actually like Goldberg as a
Me
wrestler.
too.
I mean, he had great ability. He had great ability. But he was just he was just now. I tell you who I tell you like who I had one of my trainers, one of my personal trainers told me they met Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. And he told me, believe it or not, he said he's a dick in real life. And
Well,
it doesn't surprise me because, well, he seemed like an asshole.
yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
I don't know Brock Lesnar personally. I hope he's not watching it because I don't want him to find me. But I mean, I'll still defend myself if he tries to come at me. But anyway, he's um yeah, from what I heard, they say he's kind of a dick himself, and
well, look at the warsuit that's going on that he was a part of. And okay, look, I'm saying if you're like a billionaire or millionaire, whatever, you're not always going to be the nicest people. Like I bet there's stories about you, Hefner. There's stories about Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Trump, even though he's a con man. He's nuts, and Elon Musk, another con man. Just because you have all these money, and it's about what do you have to offer. I give you an example. Walt Disney, piece of shit, but he gave us Disney. I'm like, okay, you gave us generations of cartoon characters, not a nice person, but let's take less of the evil. Vince McMahon too. He gave us generations of professional wrestlers. Doesn't mean he's a great promoter because he's really cutthroat, but I'm very thankful for what he gave us. So, and Steve Jobs, he gave up Apple. I'm right now. I'm talking to you on an Apple computer. So it's
you
kind of like you take the good with the bad,
take the good with the bad.
and that's kind of like was behind the scenes. Are you a fan of behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, how you mean, sir?
Well, like give me an example. Like, well, okay, we're gonna go behind the scenes of Bewitched, and you're gonna see the actors or who they are, what they really do, and
Oh,
then you
definitely.
find out they're assholes. So by watching I had a crush on Elizabeth Montgomery. See,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought she was a beautiful woman. Then I found out behind the scenes she cheated on her husband, abandoned her kids, and then ran off as a producer. I didn't even know any of that crap.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, several things come to mind when you mentioned that. It made me think of now who I admire and respect tremendously. I hope I work with him one day. We'll see. Is Jackie Chan.
Right,
I love Jackie Chan, even though he's getting a little older now. But anyway, from what I've read a couple of his books. Now I have respect for his work, but when I read stories of him, I've read stories of how he is as a father. That kind of made me a little iffy of him. And because now I don't know him, so I can't judge him. Because but from what I've heard, of what I read of him, they're just things I didn't agree with for him as a father and as a husband. But does that take away the fact that when I look at his body of work,
right,
and that's all that matters, what he accomplished, what he did as his line of work, his artistry. that's what I'm inspired by. Because like several examples, even like with I just watched a documentary on Paul Rubens, the guy who played Pee Wee Herman.
Right.
And not to speak ill of the dead, but from what I watched on the documentary, he was kind of a dick.
I actually met him. It's funny as we talk
Oh,
about that.
interesting.
There's got to be a picture of me and him on the screen, but actually, it's not about me. Well, let me rephrase it in two ways. Have you ever met any celebrities? Number one, and when I met him, everyone made a joke. Oh, you met Pee Wee her Paul Ruben. Did he wash his hands before he shook your
Oh
hand?
my God.
And it's like, and I had my belt with me. I created my own trophy. Everyone say, yeah, it's a wrestling belt, but it says Keith Andrew on it. And by taking pictures with celebrities, I asked them, can you hold the belt and say, hey, look, we took a picture. They support me because they're holding my belt. I took
Mhm.
one with Pee Wee Herman and he said, what's not everyone is interested in the belt, but
Right.
Kristen Cage took an interest and say, what can you tell me about the belt? Eric Bischoff looked at it and say, this is really interesting. This is a unique belt. And Paul Roman said the same thing. What can he tell us? It's like, well, I'm a talk show host with a disability. And instead of making multiple trophies, a trophy one for 1 year or trophy two for another year, I'm going to make a belt. And the belt is going to be a symbol of everything that I accomplished in 12 and a half years. Thanks to you, we're reaching our goal of 2,000. We're very close to that. We're still, let's say, 700 people off, but the belt, it's pretty much, instead of walking around with a trophy or a business card, the belt is a symbol of everything that I accomplished for 12 and a half years.
Oh, interesting.
So I took one, was Pee Wee Herman. I took one with Sean Aspen, on Billy Busser, his last name, but he was one of the hobbits in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, interesting.
Do you like Dragon Ball?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan.
Me too. I'm gonna carry that to the day I die. My heart, my passion. I met Goku. I met Chris Sabbath. I have
Oh,
interviewed a couple of people. You'd be interested. I interviewed some of the voiceovers actors. 17 Pan, Majin Buu. Really great people. I would recommend you to reach out to them.
oh,
And
surely, surely.
but the thing I want to ask you is, what were some of your favorite celebrities that you ever met?
Um, Let me see. I met Patrick LeBeau. Um, I don't know if you know him. He was the voice of Flash Thompson on the 90s Spider-Man
Oh,
show,
nice.
animated show. And I met Alicia Marie. I don't know if you know her. She's like a fitness model, but she's someone who I had a lot of respect for, and it was a pleasure meeting her. I met the Nazi chef from Seinfeld, the Nazi chef from Seinfeld. And I've met the original Alpha Five.
Oh, nice.
I met the original Alpha Five. And she's a rising star right now. She goes by Hollywood J. She was one of the Wakanda warriors in Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
And do you have pictures?
Oh, I wish I had pictures. I didn't take pictures with me when I met him, but I because what it was, I was so amped to meet him that I wasn't thinking like I should take a picture. But the memory is what matters.
Oh, absolutely. I met Ashley Mazzaro. There's only two people. I live upstate New York, so I met Marlena Perez, who was very sweet. I adore her. Even though a lot of people like to talk ill about her, but that's their karma. She was great to me. And I met Ashley Mazzaro about 4 years before she committed suicide. God rest her
Oh, sorry
soul.
to hear that.
But I have in my room, hanging over my bed, a picture of her. And let me clarify what I mean by a picture of her, not to sound like a perv or anything. I when I ask for an autograph, it isn't just, hey, can you give me an autograph and I'm gonna sell it online. I want this autograph to mean something. So I told her I'm a talk show host with a learning disability. This is what I'm doing. Is it okay if you can give me a personal message on the autograph? So I have it framed over my bed, so I look at it every day. She says, keep doing what you're doing. You're a rock star. And there's a long other thing to it, but there's just the fact she took the time to do that meant everything to me.
Wow, that touches my heart. I'm glad to hear that.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. So let me ask you, was there any subjects that you wanted to talk about or promote? This is your time.
Well, subjects I wanted to talk about. Well, I do have, I'm in works. Some things I can't talk about because of NDA. You know
Right.
what I mean. But I am working on a project with a actress and a producer, a well-known producer. I can't say his name right now, but he's a pretty well-known producer. And so far, I'm in collaboration with them. And then also, I'm working with still Beloved Jackson. She's uh, like I said, she's a singer. She has a couple of video music videos coming out that I did the script treatment for. So those will be out pretty soon. I can't say when, but they're coming pretty soon. And I have my own personal projects. I believe in September, God willing, of September of this year, I'll be filming some action sequences because I'm a martial arts practitioner. And so I'll be doing some fighting sequences pretty soon.
And all those projects that you mentioned, you're more than welcome to be on the show anytime to promote it. I would love to promote that for you.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and send people my way if they want to work with me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're more of a, I'm not like one of these people that where we're like, well, go make friends with your own friends. Don't talk to who I know. I'm gonna add you on Facebook. You're more than welcome to talk to anyone that I'm connected with. I'm not one of those assholes that like, don't look at my friends list. I don't want you to be connected with who I. We're in the entertainment world. We're gonna meet eventually. But it's kind of like I don't get it. It's like you can't fix stupid, but you can numb it with a 2x4.
Oh no, definitely. Well, the whole point is one guy taught me this. Uh, I remember one time when I used to apply for jobs, I would get pissed off that I don't get me wrong, I had the qualifications, had the requirements. I sent an application or whatnot, I wouldn't get hired. And I just get irritated and annoyed. And then one person told me it's about it's not about how good you are, it's about who you know.
No, absolutely. Did
Right.
he ever give you? Did he ever give you one of those golden nuggets? And I'm being really sarcastic on that. Little golden nuggets say, you know why? Why you want to work here? You're overqualified.
uh uh no,
I
no.
got that a lot. It pisses me off.
Well, yeah, yeah, because when I was younger, my first job that I got paid at, I was I worked as a janitor. I hated every second of that job. Every fucking second of that job, I hated. It was like the closest to being on hell in on this earth. My my boss was a dick. He was a dick, and I don't care if he hears me. uh, but he wasn't a nice guy. I mean, I got along pretty good with the coworkers. Me and them got along pretty good. But my boss, he was something else, and and at that job, I knew then, honestly, but I did learn a valuable lesson during working that job. I knew then I didn't like working for other people.
Right.
Yeah, because with arts and entertainment, it's more of a collaboration. Sure, you're gonna deal with overbearing directors and producers from time to time, but it's more of a collaboration.
Yeah, you like right now, you're helping me, I'm helping you. This
Right.
episode will be shared on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all social medias. And the biggest thing I get that really antagonizes me is when I introduce myself and like, why does he want to interview me? I don't have disabilities. I'm like, that's not the point. But the fact is, by being a guest on my talk show, you're supporting a talk show host with a disability. But the show isn't about me. The show is about you sharing your message, your story, and my job is to help you get more exposure. So every time I hear why you
Thank you.
want to be on my show, I have no disability. It's kind of like a slap in the face, and it's kind of like,
Well, what I do have, everyone has issues. So none of us are perfect. What I do have, I like I wrote in my bio to you, I have they call it Asperger's or high functioning autism.
right.
And that's what I have. So and it's kind of sad, especially when I mention that to people. They just instantly they don't they just say that the people I used to deal with were very small minded.
I can
So you're
relate.
what's that?
I can definitely relate.
Absolutely. They just say, oh, he's just retarded. And since they didn't bother to read our research, they just label me as slow and retarded instead of getting to know me and just learning, oh, he just has, certain areas he has a little challenges in. And that's all.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to broadcast it. Well, I mean, I am kind of broadcasting it, but I used to work at Toys R Us. And
Oh,
I kind of,
interesting.
I don't, like I said, I don't give a shit if they hear it or not. They can go blow it out of their ass. There was a manager, is a heavy set woman. She was nice. She didn't like me in the beginning, but we tolerated each other. So she didn't, she hated the job because the manager was a racist.
Oh,
She
wow.
happened to be black. Now, I'm saying that's a big deal or anything, but she used to take her frustrations out on me. And it's like, well, I didn't, then she apologized, or I don't mean to take it out on you, but we're dealing with this asshole. So the reason he's an asshole, I'm explain why. So it was about on a holiday weekend, and it's about 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night. And he's like, well, you do you drive? No, I have a taxi waiting outside for me. Okay, let's just leave. And whoever comes in tomorrow, they come in early anyway. They need stuff to do. They can clean up the store. So I said, okay. But while I was waiting, I started to sweep up with the broom. She flicked the lights off. I'm like, okay, I guess that's the end of that. No, I understand, but we will definitely do a part two. I enjoy talking to you.
I
But
enjoy talking to you, sir.
so if you want, we can actually work on some projects. I keep saying products, and it seems because I have my mind in retail form. Projects. I
Right.
can I'm trying to say projects as saying products. I mean, I guess in a way it is a product because I am offering stuff. But we said if you're interested, we could do a wrestling show. We can do retail life, or you can tell your stories or my stories. But every episode is different. And at the end of the day, you're making a new friend out of it. But I hope I made a good impression on you.
Oh,
Look,
you really did. Sorry about the background. I just couldn't do nothing about it.
no, that's fine. As long as I made a good impression on you, that's all that matters because this is your time. You get to say anything you want, talk about anything. And at the end of the day, I'm helping you, you're helping me. But I do have a couple questions for you off the air. Wrapping up this episode will be shared on all social medias. Stay tuned for part two, and until we meet again, I catch you later. Thank you, and have a good night.
You do the same, sir. Take care.
Don't give up.